Hello. Sorry, I'm being like a Vallow witness. I have a cough drop in my mouth. How are you guys? I'm dandy. Dandy. Getting Madison's cold. I started feeling it coming on when we were ending the stream last night, and I was like, uh-oh. So, she sneezed right in my face. I was covered. I knew it was coming. I knew it. So that's how I am. Flash fan. feel a little yucky, but it's okay. Yeah, I was like, geez Louise. Ah, that's so funny. That's me too, Pelltown. Nah, it's all right. It'll get better. So I was trying to keep an eye on everything court-wise, and let me see. I don't want the sound. They've not started yet. Surprise. I have about, I think it's like 17 minutes long, which will give us some buffer time for when they do start. It's an interview that they did with Tylee after the incident happened. And it's interesting to listen to because I hate to say it kind of gives Lori's version of events a little bit of credibility because of what Tylee says. And I don't know. So I thought we'd watch that first. Like I said, they hadn't started. I've been watching this horrible preliminary examination in Simpson's court today. Holy crap. It's like this family, mom, dad, the mom's father, their daughter, they had a foster daughter, and a puppy. And the foster mother had been threatening the family about them having her daughter. So apparently, allegedly, from what I have listened to so far, and it's not done, so obviously, who knows if I'm going to get to listen to all of it because Judge Simpson takes his stuff down like done over it. Poof's gone. But so she and two other men break into this family's home, ends up unaliving the father-in-law, unaliving the mother, and almost unaliving the dad. He doesn't have an eye anymore. Like they hit him above his heart, in his face. Then they take his biological daughter, take the foster daughter, and I think they took the puppy. It is crazy. Like, I'm thinking, you guys are, I'm pretty sure Judge Simpson doesn't need to hear the other three witnesses. You guys are going to trial. I don't know where the mom is in this. She must, because it was just the two guys. But, like, oh my gosh, so sad. Because the dad, he testified first, and his memory is not great. They were trying to pin him down, like, which guy did this, that. He's like, I don't know. I know they were both there. They were both doing stuff. The mom of the foster daughter I think she ended up hitting him in the face, broke his glasses with a like the butt of the firearm before hitting him in the face with the rounds from the firearm or the rifle. He said, "I don't know what hit me. I just like I thought I was gonna die." Like he said, "I was just." And then his wife and his father-in-law did. Yes, and the puppy. Like, where's the puppy? Because he was talking about he had the dog next to him, and the dog was very nervous, and it was making the foster mom nervous. So he was like, "I didn't want her to unalive the dog in front of the kids." So he let her take it to another room, and then it wasn't clear what happened after that. The witnesses, their sound on the stand is not great because, I mean, I'm just like, this thing is wild. But anyway, back to what we're here for. This interview with Tylee took place after Charles was unalived. And, we've heard the term from Lori, nonchalant. Everybody was nonchalant. She was calm. Everybody was calm. Well, I can tell you, Tylee was really calm too. It's weird. It's weird because it's even more strange because now we know what her fate ended up being. It's sad, and it's so strange, but I'll play it for you. You have to let me. Oh, and the detective that we saw on the stand yesterday, the one that looked like Amy from Big Bang Theory, she's the one that's going to interview Tylee. So that will be there. I'm sorry, I don't think she did the best detective work in the world, but what do you do? Hey, Nido Wow, how you doing? So let me know how the sound is on this because I was trying to figure it out. I thought it was kind of loud, but it's always louder to me than it is you guys. So here we go. Let me know if I need to turn it up or down.
Okay. So you have to spell your name because we're all taking guesses on how to spell it. We're not sure.
Tylee.
Okay, that was right. And what's your last name?
Ryan, Ryan.
And your birthday. And then, do you have a phone?
Yeah.
What's your phone number?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you there's these big beeps. I'm sorry. Hope the sound is okay. Okay, thanks, Flash Fan.
Okay. So I know this is going to kind of sound like kind of a silly question because it's super broad, but can you basically tell me what happened today? And you can start at whatever place makes sense for you to kind of start and explain. I'll probably kind of ask you questions as we go a little bit.
Okay. So I woke up probably around like 7:50, I want to say, because I heard yelling from like right outside my door. I don't even know where, but I immediately like jumped up, and I have a baseball bat because when I was living at my uncle's by myself, I just wanted something to like feel safer, and I'm not old enough to get like pepper spray or anything, so I was like, okay, I'll get a baseball bat. So I have that.
So your bedroom, you said right outside your bedroom door, and I didn't go in the house, so I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage. So what is your bedroom door open to?
My bedroom door open, so the room that my uncle was staying in, the room that's kind of the guest room, if my room's right here, that's right there.
Okay.
And then my little brother's room, and then kitchen's back here, so it's like a little hallway, and then right here is kind of where everything happened.
Okay.
Like the big, you walk in and...
Like big great room, kind of living room?
Yeah, right now it just has mirrors up because my mom wanted a dance room.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Kind of unconventional, but...
Okay, whatever makes you happy. It's your guys' house, so...
Right. So, yeah, I immediately just jumped up, and I grabbed my baseball bat, and I opened the door, and it was my stepdad, outside the doorway, and then my uncle kind of in the doorway, and then I could hear my mom behind him, and he was just screaming at both of them, like, I don't even know what he was saying, because honestly, I was just too, like wired, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I told him to take a few steps back. I was like, you're too close, you need to step back, and he was like, don't tell me what to do, and I just kind of just stood there, and then my uncle kind of moved out of the way, and then my mom kind of went past him and into like the big room.
Okay.
Where everything happened, and so I walked with them, and then
So they were more in the hallway.
Yeah, they were at like the end of the hallway,
Okay.
basically, and so my mom walked all the way around, and he kind of followed them, and I just kind of stood. My uncle was like right here, and then my stepdad right here, and then me and my mom were kind of right here. And I didn't do anything with the baseball bat. I kind of just held it there, and he was getting really close to my mom, so I kind of stuck it out like between them. And they were both just yelling, and he was like, if you hit me with that baseball bat, you're going to go to jail. And I just kind of stood there with the baseball bat, and I didn't really say anything.
When you said they were yelling, who was yelling?
It was mostly my stepdad.
Okay.
Well, he was really the only one, like, yelling.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was kind of, like, responding,
Mm-hmm.
but I honestly couldn't tell you what they were saying. It was kind of just, like, all jumbled up in my head. And so I just kind of stuck the baseball bat out there, and then he just grabbed it and tried to take it. So I held on to the end, and then eventually I fell, and he kind of took it into his hands like he was going to do something with it. And that's when...
So when you fell, he ended up with the bat?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I fell to the ground, and then my uncle kind of, like, I saw him take a step back, so my uncle, I think, grabbed him and kind of took him back so he couldn't, like, do anything.
You saw your stepdad, like, take a step back?
Take a step back, because he was really close
Okay.
to begin with, and then and so my mom said to go with JJ, and so I ran out the door, and then I kind of just stood there with my little brother. He was in the front seat of the car, and so I just kind of opened the door and just stood there, and, like, he was trying to get out, and I was like, no, we have to stay in, and I was like, oh, like, I told him, like, do you want to go in the Jeep? And then he was like, no. And then I realized that my car was blocked in, so I couldn't anyways. I was like, okay, like, just stay here. And then eventually my mom came out,
Mm-hmm.
and then we left from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what happened inside of the house? Has your mom kind of explained it all to you?
I just kind of asked her, like, because I heard a noise.
Mm-hmm.
Which I know what it was now, but it sounded like, because I knew that the baseball bat was in there, it sounded...
This is from Law and Crime. This is not anything in the trial. This is from the day of the incident, 2019, July 11th, 2019. This is the says 10:20, but I assume in the morning. So this is Tylee's version of what happened in the house that morning. She's got a lot of detail, and she's very, to use a word that Lori's used, nonchalant. Yeah, I don't know. No, this is Tylee. This is you guys. This is from the day of the incident. This is what Lori's on trial for. This is Tylee, the day of the incident. She is unalived, just not that day. So this is on 7/11/2019, the day that Charles Vallow was unalived. She's talking about Charles Vallow came to the house, was screaming and yelling. I don't know why. She doesn't know why either. That's why she had the bat. And she talks about, yes, pay attention in class. That's why she's talking about inside. They were yelling and screaming, and she had the bat for protection. She's now outside with JJ in the car, and Lori has come out. So this is not being played in court. I'm playing this because, well, one, court hadn't started yet. Maybe it has now, but then that gives us a little time to catch up and put that prosecutor on 1.25 speed. Okay, are we all good now? You're so... Thanks, Puddles. Okay, good. We're all good. Yes. That is, yeah. Okay. I'm pushing play.
Sounded like someone like took it and hit it really hard against the floor.
Okay.
And so I was kind of like I was okay, right? Because that's my uncle.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to make sure that like my stepdad didn't do anything to my uncle and stuff. And so she was like, no, like I was fine. Like we're just gonna take JJ to school. And I was like, okay. So I just got in the car, and then we went to Burger King because my little brother wanted breakfast,
Mhm.
which was chicken fries for some reason.
Okay. I do dinner for breakfast all the time.
Breakfast for dinner and dinner for breakfast.
So to kind of back up.
Hello, Brandon. This is not court. If you missed it. We're at Burger King picking up some chicken fries and a felony. I have cut my mods way back, thank you. The mods are lost. They were lost. Sorry, I can hear somebody is outside my house. Huh. All right, I'm going to push play because I need to go see what's going on.
A little bit. So you had talked about your stepdad, when you put the bat out, your stepdad was coming towards your mom.
Mm-hmm.
Can you describe to me a little bit better kind of what was going on there? Like, is there a reason you put the bat up?
Yeah, he was walking towards my mom, and I just didn't want him to do anything, so I kind of just stuck out the bat. Like, my mom was right beside me, and he was right there, so it wasn't, like, between them.
Okay.
It was kind of just, like, I just stuck it out to be, like, keep your distance, kind of.
When you say you didn't want him to do anything, what did you think he was going to do?
Hit her.
Okay.
Yeah, it's, for the most part, been pretty, like, mundane, but there have been a few like violent times with him when I was really scared that he was gonna hit me or hit my mom, like just because everything was kind of crazy. Me and him have always kind of not gotten along, like just since I was little, and so there have been a few times that we've gotten in fights and stuff like that, and so so I'm just kind of always scared of that.
Yeah. And then so that happened, and he grabbed the bat from you.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of tell me that again real quick.
So I kind of stuck it out, and this is when he was like, if you hit me with that baseball bat, you're going to jail. And I didn't say anything because I'm like, okay. And so I'm holding it by like the end of the bat, like the place where you hold it. And so he kind of took it, and I kind of like lunged forward and kind of lost like my footing.
Mm-hmm.
And so my mom was like, just let go, and so I kind of like slipped and I fell, kind of on like my side.
Okay.
Yeah, and then from that, my mom said to go to the car, so I just got up and ran out the door.
Okay. Did you see when you fell towards your side? Did you see what he did with the bat?
No, I wasn't really looking in that direction because from where I fell, the door was kind of more in my line of vision because I fell looking this way and the door was like right there, so I didn't look back.
So he was at a different line of sight than what you were looking at.
Yeah.
Okay. And then at some point you saw him kind of take a step back, and
I do not need a tree house lawyer. I'm good. I am good. Oh, sorry. My dogs are barking because somebody is dumping stone in my yard. Oh my goodness. All right, so you guys aren't buying her story, huh? All right.
from what you're saying, and tell me if I'm wrong or not, you didn't necessarily see your uncle pulling back, but it seems like that maybe.
It seems like he wouldn't have taken a step back
Okay.
on his own. So it's more of an assumption than anything.
Okay.
I didn't see him physically take him back.
And does that make sense based on where your uncle was at that time?
Yeah, he was behind him because he wasn't on this side with me and my mom, so he was behind him.
Okay.
Because that's kind of just the order where everyone walked out.
And when that happened and then your mom told you to go, did you see what happened with your stepdad and uncle?
No.
Okay. And then once you went outside with your brother, you never came back inside?
Oh, I went to go get my mom's purse from inside so that we could have, like, her wallet and everything, but this was all happening, like I said, like, in the bigger room right here, and so I went through the garage door, and so the garage door is right here, and then there's, like, a little hallway, and then this is kind of where everything is, and then this is my mom's room.
Okay.
So when I went in, I kind of, like, just tuned everything out, ran to my mom's closet, ran back. So I didn't see anything, I didn't hear anything.
When did you go back in and get her purse?
After my mom came out.
Okay. So after you heard that loud noise?
Yeah.
Okay. And when you heard the loud noise, was your mom outside or inside?
I'm trying to think. I think she was inside when it happened and the door opened like immediately after.
Okay. So very quickly after the door opened?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it wasn't like a long period of time because I remember not like thinking about it for that long, and if my mom hadn't come out immediately, I would have, been thinking about it for a lot longer than I had.
So obviously I don't know like your mom and stepdad and uncle like you do. I don't. So can you tell me kind of where the three of them were at kind of emotionally and how they were behaving when all this was happening?
When all this was happening or like before?
When all this was happening. So like when you came out of your room and he took the bat from you and... Yeah,
so my stepdad was like, I don't even know how to explain it. He honestly just looked like kind of a crazy person.
Okay.
Like screaming and like his face was beet red. He just looked like really mad. I remember when he took the bat from me, I saw his face for like a split second and I honestly like, it didn't even look like him. He just looked like pure like rage. Like he was just seeing red. So I haven't really seen him like all the way like that before. That's like the craziest I've ever seen him. And then my uncle was kind of calm, like not super calm. Obviously it was like a stressful situation, but he's like, I don't know, he was kind of just standing there in the doorway, kind of just being protective of my mom, but he wasn't yelling or really saying anything.
Okay.
And my mom was just he was yelling and my mom was kind of just like talking.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But you don't remember, if you do, like what your mom was saying at all or what he was mad about?
No, not really. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Honestly, like
we're talking about something that probably happened over 2 seconds of time.
Yeah, so. Honestly, it feels like 2 seconds and 40 minutes at the same time.
Yeah.
So I don't remember what they were really saying. I just kind of heard yelling over everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I kind of just do that whenever things are like really loud. I kind of just like tune what people are saying out because I don't know, just yelling isn't fun, obviously, for a kid to hear. And with my biological dad, I always heard him like screaming and stuff, so I kind of just learned how to like tune it out.
So when you woke up to yelling, and you had said you weren't sure what they were actually saying, did you know who was yelling when you heard the yelling? Yeah,
I knew it was my stepdad. Well, at first I kind of didn't, like when you first wake up, you're kind of disoriented, and then I remembered that my stepdad was like coming in to take my little brother to school today, so I immediately like knew it was him. And then my uncle I knew was staying, so I knew that was him. And then my mom, obviously, I knew that was her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, so you you stepped out of your room and you took the bat with you. Is there a reason why you took the bat with you?
Honestly, I think that was kind of just like first instinct. Mm-hmm. Like obviously I didn't ever hit him with the bat or anything like that. It was kind of just for like security, I guess, to know that I had it. I didn't do anything with it. In hindsight, I probably just shouldn't have brought it out at all because it caused more trouble. But it was kind of just first instinct, and it was right by my bed. So I kind of just like jumped up and grabbed it.
So I'm trying not to put like words in your mouth and stuff.
You're good.
So was there something in particular that you were concerned about that you would have taken the bat with you?
Only if he had been violent towards like me or my mom.
I'm assuming you're talking about your stepdad?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to take the bat and like do something with it. It was kind of just like, I need something in my hands to like feel safer.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So my kind of second dumb question is, and I don't know that there necessarily is, but I always kind of want to make sure, is there anything that, we didn't talk about or I didn't ask you about or anything that you think is important or anything that I should know? Because it's harder for you because you were there, and so I'm asking questions about something I didn't even see. So I just want to make sure like I didn't miss something or anything that you think I should know about.
That was pretty much it.
Okay. And if you think of something, in 5 minutes and tomorrow or whatever else, we can always talk again. It's totally fine. So I talked to your mom about, we have some victim services people that work here. They're not cops. They're really good at what they do. So I really want your mom to talk to them. Because I think it would be good that your mom has, and you guys have some, maybe kind of some extra support if you need anything, kind of go moving on. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to check in with your mom real quick, and if she's good to go, then I'm going to introduce one of them to you guys. That way you guys can talk before I take you guys back. Okay? Sound fair? Okay. Do you have any questions?
So that's pretty much it. I thought it was weird. I thought she's either lying with Lori, lying for Lori, or she was just as weird as Lori because neither one of them are upset that this guy is dead. And it's weird. To me, I don't know. She described it like Lori described it. All of a sudden, she probably had a smoothie with some stuff in it and went to sleep forever. I agree, Adair, and hello. They are way too calm. I don't know what's happening here. There we go. All right, so we're not that far behind. But I just thought that was interesting. But maybe I was the only one.
Trial in State of Arizona versus Lori Daybell, CR 2021-001704. The parties are present, jury's not present. Are we ready to bring in the jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense ready to bring in the jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead.
We weren't blaming the victim at all. She is a victim. She was giving her part of the story. It's just strange how calm they both were. They're not upset. She's not upset. Obviously didn't have a good relationship with Charles. She's not upset he's gone. Who knows what she saw? She said what she saw, apparently. But I'm not blaming her. I don't think she did anything. Captioning Judge Zach. Your sister-in-law was really poisoned by both of her parents towards her dad. Didn't want him at her wedding. Wow. I wonder if that's how. Yeah, it could explain her behavior. She didn't get along with them. I don't know, but I certainly wasn't blaming her. Not like somebody fell down. Did a juror just bite the dust? Did Lori just get zapped? It'd be hilarious. You're blaming her. Pedal down, quit it. Oh my goodness.
All right, please be seated. The jury is present. The state may call its next witness.
The state will call Detective Nate Duncan.
Very true, did a wow.
All right, sir, go ahead and stand up here and be sworn in.
Jeez Louise.
And you're about to hear the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but this will help you God. Would you please introduce yourself to the jury?
Good morning. My name is Nathan Duncan. I'm a detective with the Chandler Police Department, Robbery Homicide Unit.
How long have you worked for Chandler Police Department?
Well, 2 months shy of 25 years.
Can you tell us the different areas you have worked?
After graduating from the academy in September of 2000, I went into the patrol unit as a patrol unit for about three and a half years. I then left there and became a detective working for approximately the next 11 years in our property crime section. And in the last 10 plus years, I've been working in the robbery homicide unit.
In your career, have you been asked to write search warrants to obtain and review cell phone records?
I have.
In your career, have you been asked to write and obtain search warrants for iCloud records?
Yes, I have.
And in your career, have you been asked to basically write search warrants for all different types of social media and digital media?
Yes,
On July 11th of 2019, were you working that day?
I was.
And what were your hours at that time?
During that time, so weekdays, days, and I believe at the time I was on a Tuesday through Friday schedule, 10-hour shifts.
So on Thursday, July 11th of 2019, did you learn of a shooting at 5531 South Four Peaks Place in Chandler?
I did.
How did you learn about it?
I actually had learned by listening to the radio. I heard the call kick out and of the shooting at the Four Peaks location, and then soon after that, received a phone call to assist detectives at that location.
When you arrived at the scene, can you describe for us what you saw?
Yes, I believe I parked to the west of the location. When I arrived, I saw a crime scene tape had already been placed. There were emergency vehicles such as fire vehicles and police present already. I then walked towards the front of the house where other detectives had gathered and spoke with them regarding the case, and then we were given tasks.
When you arrived, was Alex Cox still on scene, or did you see him?
I did see him from a distance. He was seated on the sidewalk. I did not get close to him and did not know who he was at the time.
When you arrived, do you know if Lori Vallow was there?
I never saw her.
When you arrived and you said you met with other detectives, were you given an assignment or task to do?
I was.
What was that?
I was asked to assist Detective Coons with the crime scene and basically be an extra set of eyes and hands for him when processing this crime scene.
Okay. So you're with Detective Coons. Was there also anyone else assisting you?
At some point, Detective Werther was there as well. And we had a patrol officer that was standing by helping us, and also a crime scene investigator with us.
Okay. Before you can enter the house, did you obtain or did you have someone write a search warrant so you could go in the house?
Yes,
So does that mean you guys had to just kind of wait around for that to be approved?
absolutely.
And then ultimately, did you enter the scene around 11:53 in the morning?
We did.
When you were helping process this scene, you were not the case agent, right?
No, I was not.
Were you aware of the time of the 911, when the 911 call was placed?
I was aware at the time, at that particular moment. No, I was not.
Okay. Is that something you learned later?
Yes,
Did you include that in your report at some point?
I did.
Did you get the time correct in your report?
I did not.
Have you since verified through listening to the 911 call and looking at the CAD report of the time of that 911 call?
Yes, the correct time on the 911 call is 8:36 hours that I noticed through the 911 call and CAD in reviewing for this. Then I did notice that in my supplemental report, I noted the wrong time of 8:32.
Okay. Were you aware of who made the 911 call?
I was.
And who was that?
Alex Cox.
So when you are finally allowed to enter the home, can you tell us what you observed when you first walked in?
Well, prior to walking in, we had a crime scene technician go through and take overall photographs of the entire residence. After that, we utilized the Lizard Q system to take additional photographs. Once that was complete, then we made entry in to kind of to make our own observations. The front door faces to the west of this home, and as you enter, there's a small foyer. Blue is white and black checkered flooring, and then you step into what I refer to as a great room that had no furnishings. There was a mirror on the north wall, a large picture window on the east wall, a mirror on the south wall, and a mirror on the west wall. I noticed the body of the deceased, later identified as Charles Vallow, laying on
If you didn't catch that in the video, that's her dancing room. That's Lori's dancing room. Yeah.
the western portion of the room. He was in what we call the supine position, with his head to the north and his feet to the south, and his arms on each side of his body.
When you saw Charles Vallow, did he appear to be fit?
Yes,
When you went into the scene, did you notice a lot of blood around the scene?
we did not.
When you were looking at Charles Vallow, you told us that his hands were each to his sides, correct?
Correct.
Did you notice any blood on his left hand?
I did.
Where did you notice that?
I noticed some blood in the webbing, we call the webbing of Charles's left hand. And in seeing that blood, and with not seeing any other blood, the only source of blood for that to come in contact with would have been on Charles' chest. So I felt that that could have been from him placing his hand to his chest at one point before finally coming to rest.
So the flooring around where Charles's hand was, there was no blood around that floor area.
Correct.
I'm going to put up, if I can have the Elmo, Exhibit 40. There we go. All right, so what we see here in Exhibit 40, when you arrived, fire had already gone in, done whatever treatment, and removed themselves from the residence, right?
Yes,
So you can still see some of their equipment attached to Charles, correct?
correct.
And then what we're looking at here is his left hand.
Yeah, his left hand on top of his left thumb and on the side of his left index finger.
And I'm putting 41 up. Is that what you observed?
Yes,
So even around Mr. Vallow, did you notice a lot of pooling of blood around him?
I did not.
Did you notice more sort of after the medical examiner's office came and enrolled him and moved him around?
Yes,
You talked about mirrors in that room. Did you notice any cracks or damage to any of those mirrors?
I did not.
Did you see the bat in the room?
I did.
Was that on Charles's right or left side?
It was on his right side above his, more north of his head.
Okay. And when you are processing that room, are you looking for any potential blood evidence that's not just on or around Charles Vallow?
Yes, we are. We're constantly looking for any kind of blood evidence that would help us tell the story. Any kind of movement of somebody who had bled and then moved through the house to try to better explain what had happened.
So in this case, did you check that wood floor in that we'll call great room for any blood drops or spatters or smears that might be on the floor that wasn't like right under Charles?
Yes,
Did you find any?
No.
Did you go into the other rooms in the house and help search for any other blood evidence?
I did.
And did you note any blood drops or smears or anything else on the flooring or walls in any other rooms?
Not on the flooring and walls. The only other location of blood that was present would have been on the faucet of the kitchen sink.
And that was that small drop right on the faucet itself? Or
I would more smear, or I would call it a drop. But yeah, there was a red substance consistent with blood on that faucet.
okay. Were you looking around the room for any towels or shirts or anything else that may have been used to, whether it was clean up or stop bleeding?
We were.
Did you find any?
No.
At some point, as you are going through the scene, did you go into what I'm going to call the pink room
The pink room,
with the gun?
Yes, I did.
Look up my exhibit here. When you went into that room, were you, and I guess I can call it the pink as well as black and white striped room, Exhibit 71. Did you observe this orange duffel bag, the garbage bag with some clothes, and then the gun lying on the floor next to the duffel bag.
I did.
Were you responsible for making that gun safe?
I was.
What did you do to make the gun safe?
So obviously, we, with help of our crime scene technician, we photographed the gun, the bag, and everything as it is in place. That's how we found it. At that point, I would place some gloves on and pick up the gun, also looking for any kind of blood or biological evidence on the gun while I'm looking at the gun. I would eventually do what's called making the gun safe. I would remove the magazine from the gun, set that aside, and then cycle the slide to remove any kind of cartridge that's inside of the chamber. In this case, this is a Springfield XD handgun. The magazine was released and removed. The cycle was manipulated, and a single .45 caliber cartridge fell out.
I'm going to put up a couple. We see in 78 is sort of that your hand holding the magazine that you removed,
It is.
and then 86 is that your hand with the single casing.
Yes, it is.
When you were going through this evidence,
Hey, Kelly. Sorry, guys. I was paying attention, but I was trying to figure out what was going on in my yard. I don't know. Whatever. People, not in charge of this part. It's not my job. That's the man's job. But got my dog's all upset.
was there inside that orange bag that we see in Exhibit 82 a gun case?
Yes,
Did that gun case have any locks on it?
it did not.
It's just plastic clasp to hold it closed?
Correct.
And was there extra magazines inside that gun case?
There were.
Now, when you process a scene and the evidence is then taken to police impound, do you sometimes go through it better there away from the scene?
Yes,
I'm going to put up Exhibit 81 here, that orange duffel bag. I think it's this way. Did you later go through the duffel bag?
I did.
And is there an outside pocket on that?
There is.
Did you locate a debit card in there?
I did.
If I can have my paralegal approach with 234. Do you recognize Exhibit 234?
I do.
And what is that?
It's a health savings account card in the name of Alexander Cox.
State will move to admit Exhibit 234.
Any objection?
I hear him like thinking.
234 is admitted.
So.
I
Alexander
agree,
Cox,
probably.
is that the name of the person who called 911?
Yes, it is.
And when you are, let me ask you a little bit about the gun a little more. So this gun that you made safe, when you're looking at it, did you look at all the sides of it to see if there was, again, any blood evidence on it?
Yes,
Did you see any?
I did not.
And that's something you are going to check to make sure you don't potentially change the way it looks?
Correct.
Did you know when you went in to process the scene that Alex Cox had an injury to the back of his head?
I don't know. When I went in, no, I did not.
Did you learn at some point that he did?
Yes,
Knowing that he had an injury to his head, did that play in? Well, let me ask you, when did you learn that?
I believe it was during the investigation. We learned that Alex had sustained an injury to his head. So with that, made us more aware of potential other blood evidence, and that's why we were looking for that.
Okay. So is that why one of the reasons why you're looking on this gun to see if there was any blood transferred from him potentially touching his injury and manipulating the gun at some point?
Yes, from our understanding, it was there was some sort of assault with this, or assault with a bat, and then Alex then retrieved to the bedroom to get the gun. So our understanding is if you get hit with a bat and you're bleeding, that you hopefully bring some sort of blood evidence onto the gun, and then what happens after, there's more blood evidence as well.
So you would have documented that and then made sure it was collected if you'd seen that.
Absolutely.
But here we photographed the gun without any blood evidence on it.
Yes.
Do you also, when you obtain a gun, look at the serial number.
Yes.
Why is that relevant?
We want to know who it returns to, who owns that gun.
And did you determine who owned that gun?
We did.
Who owned the gun, the Exhibit 247, that Springfield?
Alex Cox.
Now, at some point, we've heard the medical examiner came to remove Charles Vallow's body, correct?
Yes,
And were you present when that happened?
I was.
And did you and the others that were processing the scene clean up the blood on the floor that had been left underneath him?
I did.
And when you were cleaning up the blood, did you notice anything on the floor that stood out to you where he had been located?
Yes, I did.
What did you notice?
When cleaning up the blood, I immediately noticed a defect in the floor consistent with a bullet strike that would have been close to or right on this area where the exit wound would have been on Charles' left shoulder.
So you had seen the floor and been processing that room while Charles was laying there, correct?
Right.
And once his body was removed, there's a pool of blood underneath where he was.
Correct.
And in that area, I'm going to put up Exhibit 60, is where you then observed that bullet strike.
That is correct.
I'm going to put up a little bit further back of one. Hold on. Let me put up 56. Although it's harder to see, the marker itself is next to where that bullet strike is.
Yes.
So when you are seeing this, what comes to your mind at that point?
Well, in the scene, we're trying to make sense of kind of what happened with limited information. We know we have 2 casings, and we know we have 2 projectiles. We have a projectile that's into the wall, and we also have a projectile that is near Charles' body. We believe, obviously, the first shot or a shot went through and through his body, causing 2 holes and entered into the wall. The other shot we have is a low left abdominal entry, and what we believe, and not confirmed until autopsy, but an upper left trajectory near his shoulder. We looked through the room to where this projectile could have exited throughout the room and then landed in that spot near where Charles was. And we did not see anything until his body was removed and the blood was cleaned up.
So you're looking like walls and trying to find any other location where the bullet may have struck and bounced back and ended up in the floor there.
Correct.
And you didn't find any defects or any holes or anything other than the one bullet that was in that baseboard.
Correct.
So when you see this now, did you feel that was consistent with the bullet striking the floor underneath Charles and him being on the floor when he was shot?
100%.
Because of that, did you?
Hey, Bad Duck, how you doing? Good to see you. You guys, I'm watching my camera right now in the backyard. This guy dumped maybe a load of sand and a load of stone. I can't tell, but he's dumped it, right? And now he's on the phone. I'm like, dude, you dumped it in the wrong spot. I'm going to watch you pick it up. I have no idea. Didn't know you were coming today. I'm just minding my own business. But you're driving my dog's nuts, so if you could hurry up, that'd be great. Oh, off the phone. Let's see if he starts. I guess he's good. I don't know. Whatever.
End up actually cutting out and collecting that board.
We did.
And then you said that you were wanting to know if that was confirmed during an autopsy, correct?
Yes.
Did you attend the autopsy?
I did not.
I'm not ignoring anybody, but that's why I'm just sitting on mute, because I need this person to leave. So that stops. But I'm not ignoring you. You guys, I would never do that.
During this initial investigation on July 11th of 2019, did you ever search Charles Vallow's rental car?
I did not.
So Lori Vallow had his car all day and nobody looked inside of it.
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
Initially, as a person who was just working the scene with Detective Kuntz, did that sort of end your investigation or your involvement for at least July 11th?
Yes.
What was your next involvement in this case?
My next involvement had some prior to June of 2020. June of 2020 is when I was assigned the the status of case agent in this case. Prior to that, I did help Detective Moffat with analyzing and just sorting through iCloud phone records and other data for him.
So we have heard about cell phones that had been extracted from retired Detective McDonald. That was Charles Vallow's cell phone. So is
Yes.
that one item of evidence that had been collected?
Yes,
Did you review any of that extracted data?
yes, I did.
Did those extractions include things from emails,
Yes,
text messages,
yes,
sort of anything you might expect to see on anyone's smartphone?
correct.
When you are looking through this, did you look through both Charles' iPhone extraction and later some iCloud account extractions?
I did.
What are iClouds?
The best way to describe an iCloud is it's cloud storage for Apple products. If you have a MacBook or a phone or a Mac computer and you use an iCloud email address, and then the information from all of those would be stored under one iCloud account.
So someone can intentionally store things there?
Yes, you can choose what you want to store in there. A lot of times there's a default on there, but you can go through and manipulate as to what you want saved in your cloud or backed up in your cloud.
So there can also be things, if a default is on, that are people may be not even aware that are being saved up there.
Correct.
I say up there as if it's really a cloud, but whatever. When you were reviewing this data, did you, without going into anything
But
specific,
whatever.
did you see
Sounds like some I'd say.
interactions between Charles Vallow and Lori Vallow prior to about June 27th of 2019?
I did.
And did you see interactions with Charles Vallow and Lori Vallow after June 27th of 2019?
Yes.
Did you see a change in those interactions?
I told you I was going to be muted, and I'm muted. I was like, he's a cop, bad duck. He can be an expert on this or that, however they need it to all fit. Sometimes. Yes, I did.
Interactions.
Definitely.
Ugh. I did. I knew it. I knew I was going to. It's fine. It's fine. I tried again. I'll probably fail a little in a minute again, just whatever. But that prosecutor, she made me laugh when she was like, whatever. That's me.
Did you learn from reviewing Charles Vallow's cell phone extraction and iCloud accounts that Charles had found an email sent to Chad Daybell that was purportedly written by him?
Yes, I did.
Did that involve an email address?
It's a joke. It's a joke. I joke with my daughter all the time because I'm like, cops can be an expert on anything. They can just be an expert. They go to classes and they learn this, that, and the other. And there's starting to be more people that are pushing back on those things, but sometimes they're the only ones that do it. So then they're the experts, right? I gotta stay muted, and I do have to lay off that too.
KK Walker 75 at Yahoo?
Yes, I did.
Did Charles Vallow, in fact, save a copy of that email into his account?
Yes, he did.
In reviewing Charles Vallow's cell phone extraction and iCloud account prior to this time in June, had you seen any use of this kkwalker75 at yahoo.com email address? Prior to June 27th of 2019, had you seen Charles Vallow utilizing that email address?
Had I seen Charles utilize it? Sorry, no, I did not.
So even though you're going through his account, you're seeing emails by him, right?
Right.
And you're seeing emails that are saved into his own iCloud account,
Yes.
but nothing in there was saved prior to June of 27th of 2019 relating to kkwalker75 at yahoo.com.
That is correct.
Was the first time that you kind of became aware of this account when you saw that Charles had saved an email and then began texting Lori Vallow about it?
Yes.
Did you find multiple text messages or SMS messages from Charles Vallow to Lori Vallow relating to this letter?
Yes, I did.
Did you find evidence that Charles Vallow, after discovering this email, contacted Chad Daybell?
Yes.
Did you find evidence that after Charles Vallow found this KK Walker 75 email address, that Charles Vallow contacted Chad Daybell's wife, Tammy Daybell?
Yes.
Was a search warrant executed on Yahoo for that KK Walker 75 at yahoo.com?
It was.
If I can have my paralegal approach with 289. Does 289 include first an affidavit from Yahoo authenticating the KK Walker 75 at yahoo.com account?
It does.
Does it include information for the subscriber?
It does.
And does it include a portion of the emails associated with that account?
Yes, it is.
When you looked at the subscriber information, what was the name of the person subscribing to this?
Karen Walker.
Did that person provide a phone number?
Yes, they did.
And so when they're subscribing to sign this up, is that often a requirement to provide some sort of phone number or way to authenticate these?
Yes,
Did you recognize that phone number?
I did.
How did you recognize it?
The phone number was linked to an old phone number for Lori Vallow.
Was that her 480 phone number?
Yeah, last ending in 4652.
So you had seen text messages from Lori Vallow to other family members and people under that phone number
Correct.
in her iCloud account?
Correct.
Did you also know when that account was opened?
Yes, it was opened in April, get the exact date, April of 2019, April 21st.
April 21st of 2019. Would that have been when Lori Vallow and Charles Vallow were now in Houston?
Yes,
Did you also note in the context itself reference to requesting Chad Daybell come out to Houston?
I did.
No. Sorry, I know I do bad baker. But it is. You're correct. No. The other day on his stream, he kept saying no before every sentence. I was dying. But I couldn't. There's too many people in there to comment. So I didn't. I just told myself no.
The state will move to admit 289 pursuant to 803 and 902.
Any objection?
Relevance, Your Honor.
289 is submitted.
If I may publish.
Go ahead.
So
It's actually pretty funny.
zoom in a little closer for us. Is this the subscriber information that Yahoo sent? Let me first say, so they send you an authentication, correct? And then they sent you subscriber information. Is that what you were looking at, where you noted a phone number that you recognized as belonging to Lori Vallow?
yes,
And again, this shows when the account was created on Sunday, April 21st,
yes,
but the name associated was Karen Walker.
correct.
Were you provided with a timeline of when this account was used?
I was.
So April 21st through June 26th.
Yes,
In looking at Charles Vallow's iCloud account and cell phone extraction, was this right before he discovered that email?
yes,
Now, some of the emails that were sent starting sort of April 21st were to Brother Daybell, to Chad Daybell.
yes,
And we see up here to Chad Daybell, correct?
correct.
And then we see the date of Sunday, April 21st of
Correct.
2019.
Yes,
And so in this email, do we see that Karen is inviting Brother Daybell to Houston?
yes,
In these messages was a final message, one that you found saved by Charles Vallow on or around June 27th or 28th. This, what we see is exhibit again 289.
Correct.
In this message, it's from the KK Walker email.
It is.
So these prior emails, we saw a person purporting to be Karen Walker using Lori Daybell's phone number, writing to brother Daybell, right?
Yes.
But here we see someone again from this same email now purporting to be Charles Vallow.
Yes.
Again, talking about a Preparing the People conference.
Correct.
And had you heard of the Preparing the People conference before?
I had.
Is that something that Lori Vallow was involved in?
Yes,
And is that something we've heard about through testimony here at court?
we have.
In this, does Charles Vallow, or the person writing this email, again, ask Chad Daybell to come out to visit,
Yes.
to help write a book?
Correct.
And so is this then the email that Charles then began reaching out to Lori, Chad, and Tammy about?
Yes.
We had heard from Adam that he also had learned of this. Did you see evidence of Charles Vallow also sending this letter that we see in 289 to Adam?
I did.
Based upon your review of the case and the dates on here, did Charles Vallow begin confronting Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell about the affair less than 2 weeks before he was killed?
He did.
And did you in fact see emails that Charles Vallow sent to Chad Daybell on June 29th and 30th?
I did.
And did you in fact see emails that Charles Vallow sent to Tammy Daybell on June 29th and June 30th of 2019?
I did.
At the time on June 29th, 30th, where was Charles residing at that time?
During that time, Charles was in Houston, Texas.
During that time, where was Lori Vallow?
She was in Arizona.
We have this timeline where Charles Vallow begins reaching out to Lori and Chad's wife about this affair. Was the first time that Charles Vallow saw Lori Vallow after him discovering this email on July 11th of 2019?
I believe so. There was a scheduled trip around the 4th of July, but was canceled. So the next time they would have seen each other would have been July 11th.
So based upon your review of SMS messages, iCloud accounts, did Charles help Lori move here to Arizona about a week before this email?
Yes,
So he had seen her prior to learning about this,
correct.
and then when he came out here to see JJ.
Yes.
When you were reviewing, well, let me ask you this. Were search warrants executed to obtain not only Charles Vallow's iCloud accounts, but Lori Vallow's iCloud accounts?
Yes, they were.
Were there two different iCloud accounts that were, that search warrants were executed on?
Yes,
Was one of them Lori for Style at iCloud.com?
it was.
And was the other one Lollytime at iCloud.com?
It was.
In reviewing those records, did you ever find evidence, screenshots of flights that Lori Vallow went to Idaho in March of 2019?
I did.
And did you ever find evidence, screenshots of flights that Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow flew back to Arizona together on March 19th of 2019? Now, we heard from Adam Cox last week. When and he testified about text messages and interactions that he and Charles had leading up to July 11th. When you were going through the extractions of Charles Vallow's phone, did you see text messages between Charles Vallow and Adam Cox?
Yes.
And did those match what we observed? And I'm going to put up 210 here that was previously admitted. Were these the messages that were previously admitted, Exhibit 210, the same ones you saw in Charles Vallow's phone?
Yes, they are.
Okay. When you were reviewing the text messages or SMS messages for July 11th of 2019, do phones and the extractions advise when a message is received as well as when it's read?
It would show that, yes, in the Cellbyte report. Yes.
Okay. So for instance, we see here a time and a red, correct?
Correct.
So when a message is incoming, it'll show when it's red.
Correct.
Obviously, when it's outgoing, we don't have that, correct? So as you were looking at those messages on the cell phone extraction, did you see as Charles is arriving, he's sending messages to Adam?
Yes, that's correct.
And then he receives a message from Adam at 7:36:19,
Yes,
and he read that. I'm going to pull in just a little closer so we can see. At 7:36:27,
yes,
so just a few seconds later.
correct.
And then again, he gets that message from Adam, they're planning something. And did he again read that like simultaneously?
Yes,
And then did Charles send a message within a few seconds of reading that? Absolutely.
correct.
And then again, this timing is just within seconds, like just ongoing conversation.
Yes,
Do we see that just a few seconds later, Adam sends a message to Charles? I was supposed to spend the night at the house last night. She probably blocked that.
yes, I do.
And then again, another 20 seconds later, Charles sends Adam a message, what you do is up to you.
Yes,
Then we see that Adam sends a message back to Charles again within another 17 seconds or something. I'm going to put the pressure to have him come get me now, see what he says. And that was read again, when?
12:13.
And again, did Adam send a second message? Where he says, okay. And when was that read?
12:13.
And then Adam sends another message now. So these first two were at 7:37:29 and 7:37:39.
Yes,
And those were not read like these other ones almost simultaneously, correct?
correct.
So after Charles said, what you do is up to you, it doesn't appear that he is any longer reading those emails
Correct.
or text messages, I apologize. The last text message that Adam sent then at 7:49 and 34 seconds was, me and Zach are going to the Stake Center tonight at 8 to play basketball. Holmes is always there, either playing ball or interviewing people. I will try to catch him to have a conversation with my old friend, right?
Correct.
When was that read?
12:13 as well.
Is Charles Vallow alive at 12:13?
He is not.
So someone else is reading those.
Yes,
And this is coming from the extraction of Charles Vallow's phone.
correct.
Do you know who was in possession of Charles Vallow's phone at 12:13 p.m. on July 11th of 2019?
Lori,
How do you know that?
she told us, and she turned the phone back over to us later that afternoon.
Did you ever find any other evidence that Lori Vallow and Alex Cox went through Charles Vallow's phone on July 11th of 2019?
Yes,
During this investigation, what we had already heard through Detective Werther, that search warrant was executed on Alex Cox's Verizon cell phone, 480-351-9120. And were you familiar with those records?
I am.
As part of the records that Verizon sent, and this is Exhibit 222 that has previously been admitted, did Verizon provide subscriber information?
Yes,
And that came back to Alex Cox.
correct.
Did Verizon provide phone calls,
Yes,
cell phone data,
yes,
cell tower data?
yes,
And did they also provide some images that were saved by Verizon for associated with this phone number for Alex Cox?
they did.
Is that something that is with every carrier?
No, it's hit or miss as to whether you get them or not. Some carriers save them for longer, some save for shorter periods of time. Some don't save them at all.
Were these images, did the images themselves have any type of time date stamp on them?
The image of them itself, it's an image of a phone with a time in the corner of the phone.
Okay.
And it,
So let me put up, I'm going to put up some of these images that were from this. So many of us talk about a screenshot, right? Is this a screenshot?
no,
Why not? How do we know it's not?
because obviously in this case, you can actually see the entire phone, and you also have a counter in the background.
So in this image that Verizon sent, it's showing an actual phone. Have you seen Charles Vallow's phone?
Yes,
Did it look like the same shape as his phone?
Yes.
We see a time of 2:13 p.m., correct?
I'm resting right now, Brandon, with this riveting woman who I swear, even though I have her sped up, talks slower and slower and slower as the more she talks. But I'm good. What? Nope. If I won, I get donuts. If the state rests, I don't call. You can't. Flashman, you can't do it. And I can't either. I'll do something. I've already done it today, so it's all right. Nope. The only thing I have stolen from her is her cold that she had last week. She's like, here you go. I will see her Friday. I don't know, but I just did it. Well, if you look down to the left, shift your eyes to the right, you might be lying. Or if you look up and to the left, circle your eyes back around, cross your arms, and take a breath. You also might be telling the truth. I don't like body language experts. Oh my goodness, what did I do? I didn't boomer, I just clicked it. Shush, Flash fan.
Correct.
When you were going through Charles Vallow's phone itself and the extraction, did you see this message between Charles Vallow and Adam Cox?
I did.
Did, in fact, Charles place the flight or book a flight for Adam Cox to come to Phoenix?
He did.
Was there another image showing a closer up of the portion of that call with the flight information for Adam Cox?
Yes.
And did it also include a screenshot where Adam talks about going to see Lori at her house and having a talk with her and keeping his phone on record?
Yes.
There's her phone number.
And were these all
Guys want it.
messages, text messages between Adam and Charles that you found on the extraction report?
They are.
And these are images that were saved by Verizon associated to Alex Cox's phone?
Yes.
So the Chandler Police Department had Charles's phone back in their possession by 3 or so in the afternoon of July 11th, correct?
Yes.
And it's been in Chandler Police Department's possession?
It has.
Do so at your own
And
risk.
yet, the Verizon records for Alex Cox show photographs of Charles's phone and those conversations between Charles and Adam.
Yes.
Now, did you learn in this investigation whether or not Lori Vallow knew the PIN to enter Charles's phone?
I did.
And did she in fact provide that to Detective Inclan so that it was easy to get into Charles's phone?
Yes.
So on July 11th, Lori Vallow has Charles Vallow's phone and she knows the PIN number to access it.
Yes.
And it's in her possession.
Correct.
I am paying attention. I was paying attention. I had a guy in my backyard that I had to pay attention to. I don't even know where he went. My dogs aren't barking, so I assume they didn't eat him. But I don't know where he went. I was watching my cameras. Sorry, but I was paying attention to you guys. I saw what was happening. I got mom eyes.
Did you ever find evidence that
No,
Alex
he wasn't
Cox
creepy.
sent those photos of Charles Vallow's phone showing Adam's flight reservations to Lori Vallow on July 13th of 2019?
I did.
Again, we're talking about those iCloud accounts. Did you find that when you were reviewing the lollytime@icloud.com account information?
Yes.
Brandon, I don't know if that was from me or Petaltown. I was enjoying nothing. I just was watching a guy on the camera that looked confused, and I couldn't help him because I don't know. I didn't even know he was coming today. So, whatever. I assume he got done what he needed to. Oh, Petaltown. Dang it. I kind of feel like that detective looks right there. Whatever he is. Officer. Whatever.
I can have my paralegal approach at 2:31.
Yes. We're having some stuff done back there. So I am not coordinating any of it because that's my husband's. But that's what he does. And I didn't know anybody was coming today. That's fine. I mean, the dogs can't get to him. We have them sectioned off so they can't get to the part of the yard that we're working on. I just didn't know he was coming today. I don't know if he put the stuff in the right spot. I assume he did. I can't help him if he didn't. So, I don't know. Nope. He can't see. He couldn't see me. But I could see him. Well, it's just, I don't know how to explain it. I'm just used to it. It's fine. I know. I just, I feel like I just keep walking into it. It's fine. I'm, I know I'm not on top of my game today. I got it. No. One, it's cold here. Well, it's 60. That's cold. Two, the hose is with the dogs. So he couldn't get that. Yes, I was watching him on the cameras. Because I didn't know where he was going. I didn't know what he was doing. And I still don't know. Yes, flash me a light. No. No. Right now, hello, Zach. Oh my goodness gracious. I am used to people coming into my backyard right now because we have a project going on. So I'm not coordinating it. I just live here right at the moment. When it's done, I'll enjoy it. But right now, my husband knows all the people. He's got it all. They're all staging, doing stuff. They just come in and do it. That's fine. They can go in the backyard. I don't care. I can see them. I know they do. No, I won't. Maybe. You've been running for like 2 days. It's like you went for milk and you never came back. You're like, I'm gonna go run. Go running. You've been like Forrest Gump. You just kept going. Spending time with your new family. It's all right. I mean, I didn't know this person, but I know most of them. It is not that. It's not that. Gross. No. No, no, no. No, I'm not. I just can't stop saying things. Ah. I don't know. I don't know, but Yeah, 1 minute they say I'm going for a walk and they come back 9 years later. That's right. Okay. If we hadn't, are we done having fun at my expense? We're putting in a patio and that's it. Like, you guys, no. Never. I mean, I've got a sense of humor. Brandon. Well, if I didn't get a copyright strike, I would make that my next intro video. But, and another thing. Nobody is making Pat Coelho. There's no plot. It's not thickened. No. If that was if that's what happened, I wouldn't be unalived and buried back there by now. You did not do anything. Flashman did nothing. All right. Now that we have that out of the way. I'm still trying to figure out if the guy is here. Still here. I didn't hear the truck leave. I don't know. Maybe he got lost in the woods. I don't have any idea. That's what the woods are for. No deal. I don't let them in my house.
I apologize. I should have also given you 226 as well.
He's gone.
Do you recognize 236 there as the affidavit for the lollytime@icloud.com account information?
I do.
Thank you.
Yeah, Zach, I didn't start this. Gabby had a big bag of things. You can't use the towels because you can't come in. So I didn't start it. Not today.
We're investigating this case, and you obtained a search warrant for the lollytime@icloud account. How did you authenticate or know that those records were related to Lori Vallow?
So first and foremost, the account lists her phone number in the 956, ending in 9562, associating that number with the account. Secondly, you can go through the content of the account and you see contacts familiar with Lori. You see text messages where she's texting and people are calling her by her name of Lori. You also have photographs and videos on the account that could all associate that account to Lori.
Did that lollytime@icloud account even include photographs of Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell's wedding?
I did.
Your Honor, the state will move to admit Exhibit 226, which is the affidavit, as well as Exhibit 231, the photographs.
Any objection?
Relevant, Your Honor.
Relevant.
All right. Give me the numbers again. 226, 231.
226 and 231.
226, 231 are admitted.
And if I may publish.
Go ahead.
So when we're talking about the iCloud account, are you able to kind of go through this extraction, what is provided to you by Apple, and look for things separated in terms of like emails or text messages or photographs?
Yes.
And then are you also able to then determine both sources and timestamps for some of those things?
You are, yes.
So looking at this report from the Apple iCloud account, do we see the lollytime@icloud as a source?
Yes.
And then we see a timestamp over here of 7:13 at 5:57 PM.
Correct.
And then this, does that mean that's converted for Arizona time?
The UTC -7 mean it is Arizona time, yes.
And then we see from Alex Cox, the 9120 number, the one that we were talking about just recently, correct? So in this report, we see that there's 3 photographs that were sent.
Thumbnails of those, yes.
And then were those photographs also obtained or saved in the iCloud account?
Yes, they were.
And so again, showing those, were these the same 3 photographs that you had found in Alex Cox's Verizon records?
They are.
And looking at this, what day was Adam returning?
He was Sunday, July 14th.
So this message, this text message and photographs was sent on the 13th prior to Adam returning.
Yes.
Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about that timeline and what you understood when we start including all this information in. Based upon your investigation, did you learn that Charles Vallow's phone left the area of 5531 South Four Peaks Place around 7:49 a.m. on July 11th?
Yes, I did.
So what we see is it's around the time that Adam sent that last text message.
Correct.
Based upon the GPS data from Charles Vallow's cell phone, when she left with Charles's phone around 7:49 a.m. and the 911 call being received at 8:36 a.m., how much time lapsed?
17 minutes? What the time?
From 7:49
49?
just 8:36, was that
Oh,
46?
47 minutes?
So if we have heard testimony from Dr. Baumgartner that Charles Vallow, when he was shot in the heart, would have taken up to a couple minutes to die after he was shot in the heart, and Lori Vallow has told Detective Inclan that she left right after Charles was shot, would that mean that Charles Vallow just lay dead on the floor for 45 minutes before Alex Cox called 911 at best?
Yes.
When you were looking at those Verizon cell phone records for Alex Cox, Exhibit 222, did you look at when and to whom Alex Cox called?
I did, yes.
Now, when you are looking at cell phone records, do they often include sort of dates and times of phone numbers, phone calls, durations, and those sorts of things?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to use the back of one of these here. So when we start looking at July 11th, is the first call that we see on Alex Cox's phone, him making an outgoing call.
Yes.
And do we see who he calls?
Lori.
So this 480-692-9562 number is one of the phone numbers that you have obtained a search warrant for that was subscribed to Lori Vallow.
Correct.
And when did that occur?
7:52 a.m.
So Lori Vallow leaves the house at 7:49 with Charles's phone, and 3 minutes later, Alex calls her.
Yes.
And did that last for
Under a minute, I believe.
under a minute? 49 seconds.
Yes.
Did you look at the next call that Adam Cox made on July 11th?
I did.
Was that what we see here at 8:06 a.m.?
Yes, set for the UTC -7 is 8:06 a.m. and that lasted for 55 seconds.
Who was that to?
Also placed to Lori.
So if Lori Vallow left the house at 7:49 with Charles Vallow's phone, how much time has lapsed when Alex calls her the second time? I know it's math. Is it about
Oh, I
17
know.
minutes?
All right, 17 minutes, yeah.
Okay. And actually, I think so at this point, has Alex called 911 yet at 8:06 a.m.?
At 8:06, he has not, no.
So at 8:06, Alex Cox calls Lori a second time, and Charles Vallow has now been laying on the floor for at least dead for at least 17 minutes.
Correct.
Understanding that the 911 call isn't made till 8:36, Alex Cox waits another 30 minutes before he calls 911.
Yes.
Did Lori Vallow ever call 911?
No.
Neither of her calls, neither of her phones,
None.
not on Charles's phone.
No.
And do we in fact see the 911 call that was made by Alex Cox on these records?
Yes.
And it shows it as, these ones have not been converted, right?
Yeah, it's not converted, but the time converting that to the -7 would be 8:35:54 seconds.
So when we see the 911 call, that's the connection time with the dispatch was 8:36 basically.
Yes.
So we knew from Charles Vallow's phone and from body cam that Lori Vallow returns to 5531 South Four Peaks at about 8:48 a.m., correct?
Yes.
As you are looking through these phone records, are you looking to also identify whether or not what people are saying matches what we'll call the digital, the unchangeable evidence?
Yeah.
So you were present when Adam Cox testified, correct?
Correct.
And do you recall him testifying that he called his brother Alex on July 9th to see if he could stay with him?
Yes,
Did you look to see if Alex Cox records show if Adam called him?
I did.
So if we looked at Exhibit 222, those Verizon records for Adam Cox, would we see on July 9th at 13:21 hours that Adam called Alex?
Correct.
Did that call last over 20 minutes?
I did.
Did you also hear Adam testify that he tried to reach Alex when he got to Phoenix on July 10th?
Yes.
And again, if we looked at Exhibit 222, Alex Cox's Verizon records, did you see any attempts by Adam to reach his brother Alex?
I did.
Did you see a call on July 10th at 3:22 p.m.?
Yes.
Did that not connect? There was no conversation time.
Correct.
Did you see a text message from Adam to Alex on Alex's records, Exhibit 222, at 3:23 p.m. on July 10th?
Yes.
Now, these records did not have the context of that, correct?
Correct.
But you can see that Adam sent a text message to his brother Alex.
Yes.
Did you see Alex ever call or text back his brother Adam?
Never.
Did you see another text from Adam to his brother Alex in Exhibit 222 at 6:28 p.m.?
Yes.
Did you see a response back from Alex to Adam?
I did not.
We also heard Adam testify, and we saw in those text messages that between Adam and Charles on July 11th, that Adam said he was going to reach out to Alex and see what he did, right?
Right.
Did you look at Exhibit 222, these Verizon records, to see whether or not Adam, in fact, had reached out to Alex?
Yeah.
And does Exhibit 222 show that at 7:40 a.m. on July 11th, 2019, that Adam, in fact, texted his brother Alex?
Yes.
Did you see a response from Alex to Adam?
I did not.
So did Alex's cell phone records, Exhibit 222, sort of confirm or match what Adam was saying about trying to reach his brother?
They did.
When you were going through the extraction of Charles Vallow's cell phone, did you ever find a copy of a lease agreement for 5531 South Four Peaks?
I did.
You guys keep talking about Alex Cox, and I was listening to his ex-wife on a phone call with a detective. I don't know who it was. They were only married for like a year, and she talked about how weird Alex and Lori's relationship was and how weird their entire family was. She didn't mention Adam or the two older sisters, Summer and whatever the other sister's name is. But she said when they would go to California to visit to visit his family, sorry, that Alex and Lori, like, he would touch her boob. She would like walk up on him and then like put her arm around his waist and like, I don't know. There was things going on. There shouldn't be going on between a brother and a sister. And then also she talks about the mom and dad and how weird they were. And just so weird that the cop asked her, or the detective asked this woman if she thought that Lori and Alex were sleeping together. That weird. She did not know, but she didn't think so. But you guys are sitting here like talking about him, and she's talking about him, and I'm just gross. Like, ugh. I know what they're saying in the chat. I've been watching. I hit you with 8 seconds. Jeez Louise. You've been, I'm, I don't know what that word means. Oh, well, you took it down. Sorry. Yes. Yes. Don't think I didn't pick up on a flashback. Just weird. It's just so weird. Ooh, got him in a RBF moment right there. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, I didn't see you took it down, Flash fan. I try to watch.
If I could have my paralegal approach with 212.
Okay.
Do you recognize Exhibit 212?
I do.
Is that a lease agreement for 5531 South Four Peaks Place in Chandler that you found in that extraction of Charles Vallow's stone?
It is.
If I could have that back. The state will move to admit Exhibit 212.
Any objection?
It doesn't look like the complete amount, but okay. No objection.
Objection. 212 is admitted.
I can't wait to hear her cross-examine this guy.
So did this sort of photo of a document that you found on Charles's phone show the lease date?
It did.
And when was that?
June 22nd, 2019 to end on June 30th of 2022.
So a 3-year lease.
Correct.
Based upon your investigation, speaking with people as well as just going through Charles Vallow's iCloud account, his cell phone, where was Charles Vallow living in June and July of 2019?
In Houston.
Did you, in fact, find evidence that Charles Vallow had flown to Phoenix on July 10th of 2019?
Yes.
So we had talked a little earlier that in addition to the Lolly Time account, that there was a Lori for Style iCloud account, correct?
Yes.
In terms of the Lori for Style at iCloud account, how did you identify that iCloud account as being associated with Lori Vallow?
Very similar to the Lolly Time account. The phone number ending in 9562 is listed as the subscriber phone number. Also the content of the phone, looking at photographs, videos, and communication with others. That is also the Lori for Style iCloud is a address that she actually gave to Banner Insurance as well.
Do we see in the Lori for Style two different phone numbers, both the 808-755-5452 and the 480-692-9562 number assigned to that subscriber?
You do.
If I can have my paralegal approach with 224 and 225.
Been waiting for somebody to ask if he looked for nudes.
And
You
do you
know-
recognize 224 as the affidavit from the iCloud records authenticating them?
Never safe.
Yes.
Never
And
safe.
is 225 some of the SMS or text messages that were saved in the Lori for Style at iCloud.com records?
Yes, they are.
State will move to admit 224 through 225. Oh, 224 and 225, sorry.
224 and 225 are admitted.
When you were going through the Lori for Style iCloud account records, did you ever find any recordings in that iCloud account related to Chad Daybell?
I did.
Did you find a recording from November 17th of 2018 of Chad Daybell in Arizona?
Sometimes.
Yes, it was him speaking at a preparing a people event.
And have we heard testimony from witnesses who attended a Preparing the People conference here in November of 2018?
Yes.
In the Lori for Style at iCloud account, did you find text message or SMS messages saved between Lori Vallow and her brother Alex Cox?
Yes.
When you were
Okay.
looking through these records, had you become aware of the name Ned?
Yes.
What was the relevance of that name in your investigation?
Through this investigation, we
Ned.
learned that Ned was the name of a dark spirit that had taken over Charles' body. And so in knowing this, I went through these records looking for a mention of Ned and to the reference and how it was used.
And was this, when we talk about the dark spirit, is this something that through your investigation, as we've heard in court, was a name that Lori had associated or given to Charles Vallow?
Yes.
In Exhibit 225, are these messages in the Lori for Style iCloud account between Lori Vallow and her brother Alex Cox, where they're talking about Ned?
Yes, they are.
Was the first time that you found that reference to Ned from February 15th of 2019 from Alex Cox to Lori Vallow?
Yes, it is.
And is that where we see Alex saying that Ned was at the temple yesterday looking for you? He thinks you are staying with me.
Correct.
And so again, we see the source is the Lori for Style, correct?
Yes.
And we see two, this is Lori Vallow's iCloud account, correct? And that's the number that we have associated with her with T-Mobile?
Yes.
And then Alex Cox's Verizon record.
Correct.
During your investigation on February 15th of 2019, is this the time period where Lori Vallow had disappeared and was no longer in contact with Charles Vallow?
Yes.
Is this the time period where Charles had JJ by himself?
Yes.
And do we see then Lori Vallow saying, that's good that he is so off, I guess?
Yes.
The next time we see the reference to Ned is that in March 2nd of 2019, again from Alex Cox to Lori Vallow?
Yes.
And does he advise Ned just came by and Tylee unleashed on him? He came to my house and he went to Summers first. He ran up in a rental car.
Correct.
So again,
I couldn't think of
your
it.
understanding is from this investigation, from testimony in court, that Ned was Charles.
Yes.
Now, again, we talk about, there was a time period
I was muted.
when Lori is, both we've heard in Hawaii and in Idaho, correct?
Correct.
Do we also see Alex trying to get Lori Vallow's new address?
Yes.
And she gives him a lollytimeforever@gmail.com, correct?
Correct.
So that's another address that she had.
Yes.
Now we heard, again, Ned being associated to Charles. Do we have a text message on March 26th of 2019 from Alex to Lori saying, Ned is still alive, just confirmed?
Correct?
This next message, is that from Lori Vallow to Alex?
Yes.
And it says it's not Ned, right?
Correct?
So it's not even a he, it's it's. And then we have another message, it's a new one, Ned is gone.
Correct.
So is this around the time where we've heard of that girls' weekend,
Yes.
where they were trying to cast out the evil spirit in Charles?
Correct.
As you continued in this Lori for style, do we see again Lori texting Alex saying, no one has seen him, right? Just talk to him.
Correct?
And then Alex says, correct, Charles' body is alive, right?
Yes.
So in your investigation and through the testimony here at trial, have you heard people indicate that Charles's body was possessed by an evil spirit?
I have.
And they're trying to cast out this evil spirit?
Yes.
So here we see that it's not Charles is alive, it's Charles's body is alive.
Correct.
Does Alex then respond to Lori, what did you learn?
Yes.
That one's from Alex to Lori.
Correct.
And then does she respond, a lot, still working on it, we'll call you later?
That's correct.
When you went through a lot of these records, did you see a lot of reference to telling people to call her?
Yes.
Obviously, we don't have those recordings, right?
Correct.
And so would you often see calls then in the phone records to match up with a request to call?
Yes.
Going back to the Lolly Time iCloud account, was that account created on July 1st of 2019?
It was.
Was that created after Charles Vallow contacted Lori and Chad Daybell and Tammy Daybell about the affair?
It was.
When you were going through those Lolly Time at iCloud account records, did you find evidence or find photographs in the Lolly Time at iCloud account showing the change in Charles's beneficiary form for his life insurance?
I did.
Did you see both a photograph of a computer as well as of documents?
Yes.
Show defense 232.
I can't respond to that, Pelton, because there's nothing I can say that's safe. Like, that's a lot of meat. That's a lot of beef. I'll just say it. I don't care. What are you going to do? Yes, and it is a heart attack special, so quit it.
I can have my paralegal approach with 232.
Go ahead.
Oh. Fast forward. I want this lady to be done.
Do you recognize both the report and the photos that were obtained or part of the records for the Lolly Time at iCloud.com account that was obtained through a search warrant by the police department?
Yes.
State would move to admit Exhibit 232.
Any objection?
No objection.
232 is admitted.
And if I may publish. So again, when you are going through these iCloud accounts, just like with the cell phone extractions, are you able to sort of pull out reports and save the documents themselves, both in the report and then print off those documents?
Yes.
So looking at this Exhibit 232, do we see, well, that's from the Lolly Time at iCloud account, right?
Correct.
And then we see that on July 28th, that these photographs were sent to a phone number 515-402-0143 with a contact name of Bubby.
I do.
Now let's first go through these records, and then we'll talk about the phone number, okay?
Okay.
So what we see here are sort of the thumbnails. Are these the actual photographs associated or sent in each of these messages?
Yes, they are.
So we see these are MMS messages, meaning there's a photo associated with it.
Yes,
Not
So one of
necessarily.
the photos associated with it was this Banner Life Insurance, oops, I'm sorry, we're too close. Banner Life Insurance policy for Charles Vallow, correct?
correct.
Showing Lori Vallow as the primary beneficiary.
Yes,
And then there was a photograph or of the document showing, again, $1 million policy,
yes,
started in 2015, and the owner insured are Charles Vallow.
yes.
Then was there a photo of a computer screen?
There is.
And were you able to tell, because you see sort of the icons that you would see at the bottom of a computer screen in this,
Correct.
and a little bit of a glare on it? And is this the designation form that was changed by Charles Vallow that we had talked about previously in court?
Yes,
And so this is a photograph of the computer showing that Charles Vallow, in fact, changed this to Ethel K. Woodcock.
that is correct.
So on July 28th, Lori Vallow is sending copies of this to someone she calls Bubby.
Yes,
Now, did you guys want to find out who Bubby was?
absolutely.
Did you actually obtain a search warrant to get those phone records from AT&T for 515-402-0143?
Yes, I did.
I can have my paralegal approach with Exhibit 223.
No. N-O. No. Baker, no. Rolled up newspaper, hit you and slap you on the nose, go to the corner.
Do you
No.
see in there, first, an affidavit from AT&T authenticating those records for the 515 number,
Yes,
a thumb drive that contains all of the records that were sent,
yes,
as well as some of the subscriber information and records.
yes,
Now, obviously, contact names are just contact names. Were you able to determine who this number was associated with?
yes.
How?
Once again, looking through the content of the messages that we saw, via either photographs sending back and forth or just written content, this person was found to be Chad Daybell. In addition to that, we received an audio recording from a local business in which Chad contacted this business and listed this as his phone number.
So this 515 number, there's a recording of Chad Daybell using this phone number to contact a business.
Yes,
And then the context of the messages that you see in this iCloud account with the contact Bubby confirmed that this was in fact Chad Daybell.
yes.
State will move to admit Exhibit 223.
Any objection?
No objection.
223 is admitted.
So on July 28th of 2019, Lori Vallow is sending photographs of the life insurance policy, original and the change, to Chad Daybell.
Yes,
As you were going through this iCloud account, the lolly time, did you go through many, many, many text messages?
yes, I did.
Did you note text messages between Lori Vallow and her brother Alex Cox that were saved in that lolly time account?
Yes,
As you were going through those text messages, did you note Lori Vallow giving her brother the new address of 5531 South Four Peaks Place?
I did.
Did you see the messages leading up to July 11th? For instance, one on July 9th talking about being like Nephi?
I did.
Did you see text messages between them even out to August 12th where Lori Vallow talks about going to Social Security?
Yes,
And in these text messages, as you looked at these two conversing, did you see text messages talking about other people being Z's, just the letter, because of their association with Charles?
yes.
I'll show Defense Exhibit 227.
Well, if anybody wants it,
Now,
there
these
it is.
messages
Thanks, Flash Man.
in this iCloud account that are in this report, are these all of the messages that they had?
No,
Are these just a portion of them?
they are.
It's ready.
Oh, sorry. I'm done.
It doesn't
And if
surprise
I-
me.
oh,
Gosh,
actually,
man.
can I have my paralegal approach with 227?
Go ahead.
Looking at Exhibit 227, are those just that portion of the SMS messages between Lori Vallow and Alex Cox that were saved on the Lolly Time at iCloud account that we've discussed there? Sort of
Yes, they
leading
are.
up to and right after July 11th.
Yes.
State will move to admit Exhibit 227.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
227 is admitted.
Hey, Jess.
So let's go through these.
I don't want any of it.
So again, we're seeing SMS messages, and we're starting here on July 9th, correct?
Yeah, 3:05 p.m.
And these are from Lori Vallow. This starts the first line from Lori Vallow to Alex Cox.
Yes.
So we see Lori Vallow tell her brother that Mel is bringing Bodie over here for you now, so can you come? Correct?
Yes.
So the 9th is the day that Charles and Adam are making their plane reservations.
Yes.
And do we see that Alex tells Lori he'll be over in a bit?
Correct.
And then as we continue on the 9th, we see Lori respond, perfect, thanks, right?
Yes.
And then Alex has to ask for her address, correct?
Yes.
And so on the 9th, Lori Vallow provides her brother with the address she lives at, 5531 South Four Peaks, correct?
Correct.
And then there appears to be a response from Alex to her AX.
I believe that's probably an attempt to correct the prior state in the above. He spelled AX as well too. So there's an
From her-
AX below.
So a little bit later, we see that was at 4:57 p.m., correct?
Yes.
So at 9 o'clock on the 9th, do we see a message from Lori Vallow to Alex Cox? So the plot thickens, call me when you can.
Yes.
Now, at that point, when you looked at phone records, did you see any call between Lori Vallow and Alex Cox initially after this first text message?
Not after that first one, no.
So about 47 minutes later, on July 9th, at 9:50 p.m., does Lori Vallow send her brother Alex Cox a message, getting sleepy, so I'm going to need you to stay close to me the next couple days. Mel too. She can't go to Utah. They are planking some kind of intervention, but want Mel out of the way, so I'm left alone. I need to come get the stuff at your house tomorrow and store it or secure it. Lots to do. Thank you for standing by me. It's all coming to a head this week. I will be like Nephi, I am told, and so will you. When you saw that message, did you ever check Alex Cox's cell phone records to determine whether or not there was a phone call after that?
I did.
Did you see that Alex Cox and Lori Vallow talked on July 9th at 21:56 hours? What time would that be?
9:56.
So 6 minutes after this, for 56 minutes.
Correct.
So 6 minutes after this text message, Lori and her brother have almost an hour-long conversation.
Yes.
Now, in this message, when you were going through these records, did you recognize or learn who Nephi was?
So in going through this particular message, I knew that Nephi was a figure in the Book of Mormon related to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, but I didn't understand the significance. So I then did some research to find out who Nephi was.
You were present in court when Adam testified, correct?
Yes.
And did his testimony about Nephi being told by the Holy Spirit to kill Laban and that this was a justified killing match with what you had learned when you researched it?
Yes, it did.
So as you were going through these messages, and let me say this investigation, were you able to get to this like July 12th? You're on it and reviewing all these iCloud accounts?
No.
Did it take significant period of time to start finding phone numbers and finding iCloud accounts and then writing warrants to obtain them?
Correct. It's an evolving process. You would find one, and then that would lead you to another. So you're continually writing search warrants for other carriers and businesses.
Okay. So when you're reviewing this now, you know the scene and you're understanding some of the case, but you're still putting pieces together.
Right.
Now, were you aware from looking at Charles's phone and the messages between Charles and Adam?
Thanks, Gabby. Thank you for being a member for 14 months. I gotta put a word in front of it so I don't get in trouble. Alex Cox. COX. For anybody that's not reading that at the moment. And now I look at, after listening to his ex-wife, I look at all this stuff so differently now between the two of them. Sorry. That, it's gross.
Adam, that they were talking about an intervention.
Yes,
So on July 9th, Adam and Charles were discussing an intervention,
correct.
possibly recording Lori.
Yes,
And then what we see then at 9:50 at night is Lori telling her brother that they're planning an intervention.
yes,
So the same day that Adam and Lori were, or that Adam and Charles were talking, Lori is already letting her brother know there's going to be an intervention.
correct,
And they're trying to get her separate and alone for this.
correct.
And then there's that long phone call that we don't have recorded, correct?
Yes.
Judge, do you want me to keep going through these or break here? I do have a significant number
Yeah,
more.
let's go ahead and take our lunch recess,
Hey.
almost 12:05. I'll remind the jury to remember the admonition. We'll resume at 1:30 p.m.
All right for the jurors?
12:05. It says 12:35 on the banner. Make sure they don't have anything else to discuss. I would like to think that your membership of 14 months is happier than that too, Gabby. Thank you. All right. Anything else, Judge? Doesn't look like it. Yay. All right. We did it. We did it. High five. I only boomered like 6 times. Flashman, I still have hope. Don't take it away. All right. I'll be back at 5:30. So don't be a half hour later so we can keep the sped up. And yep, that. Little zap here, little zap there, and geez Louise to send you on your way. I will see you guys at 5:30. I'm gonna go eat some dinner. Well, I gotta go cook it first, but you know, I am gonna do stuff. No, whatever. I'm gonna end the stream right now. I'll see you guys back at 5:30. Also, when we come back, behave yourselves. Oh, the thoughts that Lolly Time gave me, Gabby. Dang it. Bad. They were bad. All right. See you guys in about an hour and a half.